in this video I'll talk about the first 7 days out of my 2-week vacation in Greece, or to be a little bit more specific, on Crete, which is kind of different from the mainland. I went on this vacation with my parents, my siblings, and of course my boyfriend, and this is the right moment to thank him for volunteering to film me while I'll draw, because I was way too lazy to set up a tripod, and to be honest, I barely vlogged. So the only footage that I have from this vacation is thanks to him. Anyway, we rented a minibus and traveled throughout the island, and in total we stayed in 3 different houses, but during these 7 days we only stayed in 2 of them. These days were really overwhelming in terms of colors, views and atmosphere. It feels like someone had played with the color situation and contrast, setting both unnaturally high. I felt like I could easily paint every tree, every mountain, every beach, and it would look like a well-composed masterpiece painting. When packing so many art supplies, I was a little scared that I won't have time or I won't be inspired enough to use them, but oh boy was I wrong. I could barely stop myself from painting, and it was kind of a weirdly natural urge that I was almost powerless against. So by the end of the vacation I finished up with 3 oil paintings, 2 large watercolors, and some sketches in my watercolor sketchbook that I'll probably review later. Also, surprisingly, I worked on a digital character design. So this is not something I would usually feel inspired to do unless I need to do it for my job. I'll talk about it in a different video because it happened on the 2nd week, not the first one. A big challenge that I've encountered was trying for the first time my newly achieved watercolor skills. Now, I don't think that I told you guys, but I've been taking watercolor classes online for quite a while now, and most of my recent watercolor paintings were made as homework, strictly following like step-by-step tutorials. So it means that I had pretty much no idea where my own watercolor skills stand. And I was scared of disappointing myself and ruining expensive cotton paper that I took with me on this vacation. And the reality is, as you can see in this video, is somewhere in the middle. I wasn't as good as the homework that I did for my watercolor classes, simply because I didn't have a photo reference and a teacher who would solve all the problems for me. But it definitely was much better than my skills before I took those classes. I was impressed by the speed in which I could complete a watercolor painting compared to oil painting. The watercolor paintings only took me about 2 hours, while the oil paintings were much more time consuming. photo references. Plein was hard, believe me, it was terrible. Now the environment, the lighting, the colors, they were like constantly changing, and trees and bushes, they were just moving all the time, like non-stop. And painting with what you have in a constantly changing environment is not easy, but definitely the harsh environment is part of the challenge because for example, in the oil painting that you currently see on the screen, it was on a very windy beach in Falasarna, and the wind gusts, they were so crazy that I held my pochade box, my canvas, and just hoped that the wind won't blow everything away. And I did end up with a lot of sand on my canvas, which in my opinion makes the painting even more interesting because now it has weird textures all over it. But yeah, that's part of doing plein air in harsh conditions. By the way, here's another oil painting I did this week, but unfortunately I don't have any footage of the process. So as you're watching my final pieces from week 1, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If not, you're more than welcome to give me your critique and suggestions in the comment section below. You can find these paintings and more on my Instagram, and I'll leave a link in the description below, so don't forget to check it out. Until then, see you in the next video. Bye!